For more analysis on the situation, we now move to Hani Saif in our newsroom. To you, Hani.
Thank you, Hala. We're joined from Cairo by Al-Ahram Managing Editor, Mr. Mohammed Izzuddin. Mr. Izzuddin, welcome to Q News. In what ways do Egypt's recent consultations with Saudi Arabia, Jordan and Turkey reinforce Cairo's role as a pivotal mediator in both Sudan and Gaza? And what tangible outcomes can be anticipated this month?
Hello, and thank you for having me on Q News. Of course, the talks here, they aim to bring together point of views and to agree to a specific framework, especially in Gaza and Sudan, after the operational escalations and not, first of all, not following the point of the agreement and keeping their aggressions and violation of the ceasefire in Gaza, and then not also allowing the delivery of humanitarian aid or tents and blankets and everything, especially now with winter coming. And when it comes to Sudan, there are mass killings that are being carried out by the rapid support forces, and we need things to de-escalate and to allow the civilians to leave the war-torn areas where they are sieged, and then have a truce like what happened in the council a month ago. And so Egypt's negotiations are happening daily and around the clock to get to know the latest updates and to coordinate with the international parties, whether it comes to the Gaza cause or the humanitarian crisis and the war in Sudan.
Well, London is urging an emergency UN Security Council meeting in Washington, insisting it remains deeply involved. Where does the genuine influence lie to secure a nationwide ceasefire in Sudan? What would be a viable peace framework? What would it entail?
Of course, it is such a positive step from Britain, and unfortunately, the importance of the Sudan cause isn't on the top of the list now, even on the UN's list. And if it weren't for the genocide in Al-Fashir and the humanitarian violations by the RSF, the Sudan cause wouldn't have gone to the top of the list again, and we wouldn't have remembered what was going on. And so we need a ceasefire and to allow the civilians, as I said, to leave and to have the RSF withdraw from Sudan and not use the civilians as leverage that prevents the delivery of humanitarian aid and hinders the progress of having the Sudanese army force the RSF to leave. And so we need here a strong stance, and we need an agreement which will have all its points implemented and fulfilled. And we need to acknowledge that the civil war in Sudan between the Sudanese army and the factions there are some parties that think that we can that they are both equal, and on the political level they are, but when it comes to the military level, this is the Sudanese armies. And this needs to be clear for everyone who will be at the negotiation table in the upcoming phase. And so, Egypt, of course, wishes stability for Sudan, and they also wish to keep everything as it was and to have peace return to our neighboring and beloved country, Sudan. And so, some things need to be made clear before starting negotiations and talking about details.
Yes, definitely. Well, accounts, as you mentioned, accounts emerging from Al-Fashir and Al-Ubaid and Kordofan obviously paint a very bleak picture. From your perspective, what immediate steps should Arab and African diplomacy take to stop the famine, the mass displacement from spiraling into broader regional turmoil?
First of all, the RSF need to withdraw from the land that they have occupied and not use the civilians as leverage or prevent safe leaving or humanitarian aid delivery. And so this needs to be forced upon them and to allow all parties to deliver humanitarian aid under international coordination. And so what's happening now is kind of unorganized and random, and it also and it also comes parallel to arms trafficking. And so here we have more than one problem. And so we need to end this war, deliver humanitarian aid, to stop using the civilians as human shields, and the Arab role needs to be they need to have a stronger stance and to have to coordinate with international organizations to deliver aid and to have a truce, even if for now.
Yes, well, one final question, sir. As Egypt prepares to host the Cairo conference on Gaza's reconstruction and recovery, what political assurances or linkages could also help ease tensions in Sudan, allowing Cairo's diplomatic track to integrate both crises rather than address them separately?
Yeah, of course, this is a good proposal, I think so, and we can call for it, but this may cause delaying the conference or the meeting. But if all the parties are on board and if we coordinate with the international organizations and the parties, so it will only be appropriate to get Sudan back on the list and to have negotiations about their peace, especially with the almost stability that we have in the Gaza Strip and not going back to full war. But in Sudan now, civilians are being attacked. We have genocide, and even from the RSF persons that don't have arms. And so we need some kind of a parallel meeting, or to have both combined into one meeting, even if it may postpone both causes. And we might also take advantage of having the international leaders to talk about a cause that is not talked about enough and is no less important than the Palestinian cause, which is the Sudanese cause.
Definitely.